Inviting prospects. Skill number one is pretty fundamental, but most people don't know it's a skill. They think it's a resource. Treat it as a skill. You're going to be fine. Those of you who are panicking because you don't think you know enough people, it's going to be fine. So inviting prospects. This is the gateway skill. If you figure out how to effectively invite prospects, you're going to be fine. If you don't, it's over. It's the gateway skill. Either you go through the gate or the gate closes. The good news is it's learnable. We're going to give you some fundamentals that every single one of you can learn, and you'll enjoy and you'll have fun. Won't be any problem. A lot of people think in order to be a good inviter, you need to have reputation and influence. That's not true. You don't have to have reputation and influence to be a good inviter. You just have to have the skills to be a good inviter. I want to change you from a hunter to a professional, from a predator to a professional. We're more like farmers than we are hunters. We grow relationships. We grow people. We push people up. We nurture people. Right? A lot of you have the mentality, I need to invite him because I got to get him. I need to get me one more. Nobody wants to get got. Let me give you the professional mindset when it comes to inviting. Their mindset is to build a relationship, not to get a distributor. That's their mindset. To build a friendship. People do business with friends. Mindset is about relationships, not about, and people will sense if you're trying to build a relationship or if you're a shark. They'll sense it. Their goal is to educate people and inspire people. Education and inspiration, that's their goal. They want people to be better because of their interaction. They want people to be inspired and see a bigger picture of their lives. They want people to understand what it is that they have to offer. It's about understanding. It's about education. See, is that different than what most people think? I got to go get this person. No, build a relationship. Educate them. Inspire them, yes. Educate them for sure. Build a relationship, build a friendship, no matter what. Their process is to, number one, build trust, and number two, transfer belief. Professionals don't even really pitch. They just don't. They're not pitch machines. Those are the amateurs out there. I've never met a person I didn't prospect. They don't pitch. They build a relationship. They educate, they inspire, they build trust, they transfer belief, and it becomes a natural downhill gravitational pull towards your opportunity instead of pushing the rock uphill. That's what amateurs do. That's what posers do. They're pushing rock uphill all the time. Professionals don't pitch. You're going to be inviting to one of two things, in my experience. You're going to be inviting to one of two things. The first is an event. So here's the second thing that you invite people to. A tool of some sort. Could be a whole number of things. Tools are a much better first step. Much better. So tools are a much better first step. Let me talk to you why tools are incredibly powerful. It's the power of third party. This is a fundamental. If you don't learn this fundamental, you're going to have problems. If you learn this fundamental, you're going to be fine. Third party. Here's what most people in network marketing do. Posers and amateurs both. Here's you. Here's the prospect. They go to the prospect and they try and give all the information. Let me tell you about my product. Let me tell you about my opportunity. Let me tell you about what's going on. Let me tell you about our leadership group. Let me tell you about the support. Let me tell you about this exciting campaign we got going on. Let me tell you, let me tell you, let me tell you, let me tell you. The problem with first party is they most of the time know you and they know you're not an expert. If you go first party, you're only going to have a certain result. You're going to get shot down most of the time. The only people you could have success with in first party are people you have influence over. Here's the short definition of what third party is. Anything that's not you. If it's you trying to be the expert. Your job is to go to the prospect and connect that prospect with a third party. That third party is the fact giver. It gives the information, lets people understand the product, the opportunity, the story, whatever, what's possible for them. It helps to educate them. And if they see an opportunity, they'll come back to you and you can show them how they could do the same thing. Now I'm talking to Mimi. And I'm sharing the opportunity. And I'm saying, Mimi, you would be great at this. You'd be unbelievable. You'll be able to tear this thing up. The opportunity's on that screen. Okay? You'd be unbelievable. Can you see right now what's on that screen? She can't see it. Why can't she see it? Because I'm in the way. She has to see it through me. This guy that she may or may not relate to. Okay? She has to see it through me. So no matter who you're talking to, they have to see it through you, and that they might not see it. You're reducing your chances by like 90% if you take a first-party approach. So what I need to learn how to do is introduce myself to Mimi in a way that builds trust. And watch this. Watch the screen. I need to move out of the way. Point, read, introduce, tell stories. I need to drive her to that exposure so she can see it. And she turns to me and she asks me a question. Well, I'm glad you asked. And I jump right back in front. And she can't see it again. See what I mean? Job as third parties, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Resist the urge to sound intelligent. Show off with the stuff you read last night. Tell me what's in the product. Oh, I can't wait because it's got this and it's got this and it's all natural and it does that and it's unbelievable what it does with this. Stop it. Say, well, there's a brochure that explained it all better than I could, and you drive them to the exposure that way. You see what I'm saying? You get it? Now, if you do third party that way, now I can go to if I'm a 6, I can go to a 10 and talk to a 10. If I invite them properly, if I do it with skill. A man can talk to a woman can talk to a man, people from different races, backgrounds, cultures, experiences, countries, can talk to everybody. Now, if I use a third-party approach by getting out of the way, how many think I have a better chance with Mimi? Better chance. Okay, if I go first party, my chances are really low. Third party is critical. Third party is critical. I'm going to give you one more thing, and then we're going to go with Ray. Let me give you the formula for financial independence in network marketing. The formula for financial independence in network marketing. Would you like to know what it is? Your ability to get a large group of people to do a few simple things consistently over an extended period of time. That's it. And I went from I'll do it all, bring it all, I'll do all the presentations, all the trainings, I'll do the calls, bring your list. I'll even call the people on your list for you. I got, a brand new distributor sitting right next to me. I'm calling you because they're too afraid to. I'd do it all. And then I went to having a few people doing amazing things. I had inner circle just doing unbelievable stuff. And that doesn't get you freedom either. Then I finally learned that using tools, your ability to get a large group of people to do a few simple things consistently over an extended period of time is the ticket to freedom. Really. So rule number 1 is don't ever, ever, ever answer a fact-based question. Point, read, introduce, tell stories. Use third party. Even after the distributor joins your business, still point, read, introduce, tell stories to them. Because you'll be teaching them what to do with their people, their prospects, everybody else. Got it? You understand this? Tool campaigns changed my life. Really. Tool campaigns can change your life with your business. Because when you think about the formula, you're trying to get a large group of people to do a couple simple things. What's more simple than a tool? Get somebody to listen to a tool. Get somebody to review some material. Get somebody to do something. Let's talk about inviting. There's 4 emotional rules for inviting. And I will tell you right now, inviting is emotional. So you've got to, here's what the professionals do. Rule number 1, you have to emotionally detach from the outcome. Emotionally detach from the outcome. Your goal is education, inspiring somebody, teaching something that they don't know, giving someone some education on something that they don't know. Your job is to try and transfer that information to them. Regardless, the professionals don't really treat someone like they're hunted. They just go to them, they're emotionally detached, they build new relationships like we talked about. Number 2, be yourself. Some people turn into a completely different person. And they're just not themselves. So be yourself, but be your best self. Be your most energetic self. Be your most passionate self. Be your most positive self. But be yourself. Number 3, bring your passion. What did Mike say? People are paying more attention to the passion than they are to the words. That's totally true. And number 4, posture is important. Why did I talk to you about these things earlier today? You have the gift. Have compassion. Don't allow somebody to kick you in the face. Just don't allow it. Just don't be that person that would even welcome it. Your posture, be strong, be positive. And I will tell you, when I first started, I was none of these things. I was emotionally very attached, especially to family and friends. If they didn't join, I was just depressed. I was not myself. I tried to be this other person. My passion, I was more interested in the right words than I was the passion. And my posture was apologizing for network marketing at every turn. Didn't even really realize it. It was on a subconscious level. And part of it is I was insecure because I was 23, 24. I didn't think anybody'd listen to me, and I had 18 jobs, and I was more attracted to what? The past or the future? The past. I was living the past. I was owning the past. 8 steps to a professional invitation. That sounds like a lot. It's not a lot. Just relax. 8 steps to a professional invitation. When you put all the steps together as a network marketing professional, you will find that you can do this entire thing in under 3 minutes without any problem at all, doing it all professionally, on point. Step number 1, with every single invitation, when you're inviting somebody to a tool or an event, right? You're going to be inviting somebody to do one of those 2 things. The first step, the first thing out of your mouth needs to be, listen, I don't have a lot of time. I'm running out the door. Be in a hurry. Okay? Let me go through all the 8 steps, and then we'll talk about each one. Number 2, compliment the prospect. Number 3, make the invitation. Number 4, the most powerful question in all of network marketing, if I would you. Number 5, confirmation number 1, get the time commitment. Number 6, confirmation number 2, confirm the time commitment. Number 7, confirmation number 3, schedule the next call or the next exposure. And number 8, get off the phone. Don't undo what you just did. Okay? Those are the 8 steps. Let's talk about step 1. Be in a hurry. This is a psychological issue. And if you don't think we're dealing in psychological issues in network marketing, think again. This is a study of psychological wiring in human beings. People are attracted to the non-needy. If you're in a hurry, you're blowing, you're going, you got things going on, you're headed out the door, they're attracted to that. If you got all the time in the world, they're not attracted. Human nature. This will make for shorter invitations. Some of you have 30-minute invitations. Some of you have 1-hour invitations. If it's longer than 3 minutes, it doesn't need to be longer than 3 minutes. You build a little rapport, do the invitation, but the actual invitation itself, the 8 steps, is less than 3 minutes. Truly. You're going to get less questions. If you set up at the beginning of the call or the interaction, listen, I don't have a lot of time, I'm running out the door, but I was glad I caught you. Then at the end, they're not going to be saying, well, hold on, let me ask some more questions. You'll get less questions. Our goal is education, right? And we're going to lead people in a direction that helps to educate them in the easiest possible way. You'll get less resistance to anything. And here's a big one. People will respect you in your time. It'll set you up on a completely different scale. People were like, dang, they got stuff going on. Huh, who would have thought? I thought they were just sitting around doing nothing. And you might be sitting around doing nothing, but they don't need to know that. Listen, let me give you some examples. I don't have a lot of time to talk. It's really important I reach you. Do you have a minute? Get somebody on the phone. Hey, listen. Just real quick. Bang, bang, bang. Something to do at the very beginning of the invitation itself. I got a million things going on, but I'm glad I caught you. I'm running out the door, but I needed to talk to you real quick. Just warm market, simple examples. Those are all in the script book. You can find all those. But did you get the feel? And forget the words. Did you get the feeling? The feeling is, listen, it was really important I caught you, but I'm super, super busy. You just have a quick minute? Whatever the words are. Your words. Your energy. Put some big energy into it. For cold market, if you run into somebody, now isn't the time to get into this and I got to go, but somebody sells you shoes, does a good job. Hey, listen, you're really good at this. I don't have a lot of time to talk right now. I'm in the middle of a bunch of things and I got to run. But, and then you can go into the invitation. Or I've got to run, but. So be in a hurry. So anyway, with this step, focus on the concepts, not the words. Here's the concept. You're busy. You've got a lot going on. You're excited. And your time is short. Okay? Got that? Pretty simple, right? I will tell you this is a muscle that you must exercise. You've got to do it at the beginning of every interaction. If you do it, this one simple little thing will increase your invitation results 10 to 20%. Just that. 10 to 20%. Psychologically, it sets everything up. Step 2, compliment the prospect. Compliment the prospect. Top network marketing professionals do this as second nature. They're just great at this. This is critical. It opens the door to communication. It builds instant rapport. And it will double your results overnight. Double your results overnight. So, let me give you some examples. You've always been successful, and I've always respected the way you've done business. You've always been so supportive of me, and I appreciate that so much. Say this to every family member and close friend. If you go to your brother-in-law and say, look, one of the things I appreciate about you the most, you're always supportive of me. And I really appreciate that. Now he has no place to go. He's cooked. It's over. You've got an amazing mind for business and can see things other people don't see. For cold market, you give me some of the best service I've ever received. You're super sharp. Can I ask what you do for a living? Here's the steps or the critical part of the compliment. It's got to be sincere. Find something you like about somebody and tell them. Compliment them. Find something. Some people are harder than others. I really appreciate your shoes. Yeah, your shoes. No, I'm just kidding. You can always find something about someone. You can compliment them. You can give them some support and encouragement. Now, the top distributors do this everywhere they go with every one of their people. They're just constantly complimenting their downline. They're complimenting the person who just joined. They're complimenting the person who rank advanced, the person who attended the event. They're complimenting in every, hey, you look sharp. Whatever it is, they are constantly, it's part of their nature. This little discipline will double your results. You must do it. You must tell people you're in a hurry, and then you must do the compliment up front. Critical that you do it up front. It sets the stage for everything. No matter how cool the person is, they're thinking inside, I like this person. I like them. They're cool. All right, let's see what they got. We don't receive very many compliments in our day-to-day lives. You just don't. You know, you think about outside of this business, when was the last time somebody gave you a sincere compliment? You got to think back and you're like, No matter who they are, if somebody's a successful business person, they're not told by any people that they're a successful business person. They're a lonely, successful business person most of the time. If you go to that person and say, you know what? You probably don't hear this other than people who are trying to kiss your butt because they work for you. I just wanted to tell you because I notice that you're a rock star in business. Really. You're just extraordinary. I think you're fantastic. I think you're amazing. Just wanted you to know. Inside, I don't care if they make $1 million a year, they've got a huge business, they're going to go, you know what? Who is this? I like you. Swear to you. Critically important. This is a muscle that you need to develop. Step 3 is to make the invitation. There's 3 different approaches. It's not one size fits all. There's the direct approach, there's an indirect approach, and there's a super indirect approach. Most people in network marketing, guess what they think? One size fits all. Direct approach. Guess where you can use a direct approach? With people that look up to you. You've got your inner circle that you can call those people and say, hey, get over to my house, hurry up. But there's not a lot of people you can say that to. There's people who've always wanted to do business with you. You can use the shortcut if you want. It's a little dangerous. I think the direct approach should be used maybe 10% of the time. 10%. This is when I'm talking to Albert and I'm saying, I've got something for you. Right? Direct. Going straight to Albert. Give you some examples of direct approach. Albert, when you told me you were sick and tired of your job, were you serious or you just kidding around?
I was serious.
You're serious. Well, I think I got a way for you to get out of there. I got an exit strategy. I got something that's interesting. This is when you have an idea of their dissatisfaction. When you told me your business owned you and you had trying to figure out how to get out of there, were you seriously just kidding around? When you told me you had a boss that you hated, or you told me when you were sad you couldn't take the kids on vacation, when you told me that you're underwater on the house but couldn't get out of it, and you seriously just kidding around. Well, I got a way for you to get out of that house if you want to. Wouldn't that be great? I think I found a way for you to get it, solve it, make that happen. You can decide up front, this is the approach that I want to use. I want to use this approach for this person. when you know their area of dissatisfaction. This can work very, very well. Another example. Ace, I think I found a way for us to really boost our cash flow. I think I found a way for us to really go make something happen. Us. When I thought of the people who could make an absolute fortune with a business I just found, I thought about you, Joshua. You immediately popped into my mind. You know, I've complimented him kind of twice now. You know, where he went, he thought of me. Cool. I'm synonymous with success in his mind. Let me ask you a question off the record. Great little phrase off the record. Great 3 words off the record. Take the off the record out of there, and if I go to Janice and I say, let me ask you a question. There's a business you could start working part-time from your home that would replace your current income. Would that be interesting? If I don't do the off the record, she's going to give me one answer. If I add those 3 words, she's going to give me a completely different answer. Let me ask you a question, off the record, okay? Just between you and me. If there's a business that you could start part-time, work from your house, and be able to create an income that would become important for you and your family, would that be interesting? Off the record. Yeah. See, before she was kind of hesitating, not knowing where's this going. But if I just say, you know, look, it's just you and me. Those 3 words will reduce walls like you can't believe. This is the science of these little words. It's funny. The psychology of how to connect with another human being. Cold market examples. This is an old one, but a good one. You ever thought about diversifying your income? You know, you're super sharp at what you do. You keep your career options open. Old one, but a good one. Works today, worked 10 years ago, will work 10 years from now. I love this one. Do you plan on doing what you're doing right now for the rest of your career? Is this it? Awesome. I'm telling you. Ask somebody who works at this hotel. Ask somebody who's doing something. No, this is on their way to something else that's going to fulfill them in a more interesting way. You plan on doing this? You know, what are they going to tell you? Yep, I'm done. This is it. Guy who brings your luggage up to your room. Is this it? Yep, I'm done. I'm just serving my time now. They can say, no. You know, at some point I'm going to do something else. Then you can go into an invitation and say, you know, well, listen, I don't have the time right now, and I know you're busy, but if I had something that could give you an exit strategy from what you're doing right now into something that made you happy, fulfilled you, would you be open to that? What are they going to say? Now, if you told them you're in a hurry, you know, they're dropping off the stuff, and you've given them a compliment and you've done that, they're going to say yes. Come on. For sure. What you want to do is ask questions that end with, of course. Your arsenal is the questions that you ask. The professional just asks questions and sits back and lets the prospect do the rest of the work. Indirect approaches. Indirect is when you're not going directly at them, but you're asking for help, guidance, support, wisdom, input. This is much easier to use for most people. It's non-threatening. Use this. If you just got started with your business, you started something new, use this with every single close friend and family member, and you will get a minimum of 500% better results with this invitation. I've just started a new business. I'm really nervous. You know, or I'm scared to death, or you know what, I'm getting my feet under me. I don't know a lot yet. I'm excited, but I don't know a lot. before I get going, I need to practice on somebody friendly. Can I practice on you? Can I practice on you? Is that all right? You can literally go to that person and read out of a manual with them, and they'll let you. If somebody calls me and uses a direct approach with me, which they try to do all the time, hey, I've got this great thing. I want you to look at it. I'm like, really? Please. In network marketing, come on. But if a family member got involved in network marketing and called me up and said, you know what, I'm really scared. You've got a lot of experience with this. I need somebody to practice on. Can I practice on you? Bring it. Bring it. Show me your stuff. I'm in with that stuff. No problem. Another approach. I found a business I'm really excited about, but what do I know? You got a lot more experience than I do. Would you look at it and give me your opinion? Give me your feedback. Let me know what you think. I got a new business that's expanding in your area. You do me a favor and look at it so you can give me your opinion if it's going to work in that area. It's a great approach. This is very nuts and bolts, but it's very important. Practice, rehearse, play with it. Go to your friends and family and read them these questions while you're practicing. Super indirect approach is what you use for highly influential people. People that can't hear any other approach. Here's the message. The business I'm in clearly isn't for you. You're too successful, you're powerful, you're, master of the universe. I get it. You're busy, you got stuff going on. But I wanted to ask, do you know anybody who's ambitious, money motivated, be excited about the idea of adding some more cash flow to their lives? Do you know somebody who is opportunistic and likes to get in front of trends because I've got something that's going to explode in this local market and I need a leader to help me organize it? See what I'm saying? Who do you know that's hit a wall with their business and might be looking for a way to diversify? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? I work with a company that's expanding in this area. I'm looking for some sharp people. Do you know anybody that might fit that description? You know anybody sharp? I know you do. Not for you. I'm not here to talk to you. I appreciate you giving me the time. I'm trying to leverage the most influential people I know. And when I thought about the most influential people, I thought about you. And I know you know people. And what I usually throw in is, look, if you can guide me to some sharp people, I'll make it worth your time. That's it. If you can guide me to some sharp people, I'll make it worth your time. What does that mean? Yeah, I'll give you a referral of some sort. Based upon what they produce, whatever. I'll make it worth your time. Okay? Now, if they give you, you can use this, you can go into any marketplace in the world, and you can use a super indirect approach, or an indirect approach, or a direct approach, and launch a market. Give you an example. If you were dropped into New York City or anywhere, you could go into every single car dealership in the entire city. You could walk in and say, listen, I need to talk to the number one salesperson. I can't talk to anybody but number one. I'll wait. Number one comes and says, can I help you? Yes, I understand you're number one in this establishment. Yeah, you are. Well, the fact that you're number one here means to me that you might be able to be number one someplace else. And here's what I know about this profession. You're probably dramatically underpaid for how valuable you are to this organization. Would that be interesting if you were number one in someplace, somebody came in with that conversation? What if there was a way, sir or ma'am, for you to be paid exactly what you're worth? Would you be up for that? Are you tired of carrying everybody else in this whole place and paying the rent? Was that a compliment or a dig? It was a compliment. You're carrying all these other people that are underperforming you. You're the performer. You're the producer. You're the one doing it all. The owner's loving you. Where are they today? Oh, they're not in? I can show you how to get out of here, man. Do some big stuff. Swear to God. Could you have that conversation? You could. Now, is that bold? Yes, but you know what? What do you have to lose? Could you treat that as a social experiment? You could do that at a Vegas car dealership and no one would ever know. Couldn't you? There's not 5 of you that would have the guts to do it, but if you did, the story'd be interesting. Could you go to a pastor of a church in a local market and say, Pastor, I'm building a business here in the local market. I'm looking for some entrepreneurial type people that might be open to something new. It's clearly not for you. I respect your time. Thank you for seeing me. But you have to know people that are super sharp. You've got to. Can you point me in the direction of some of them? And if it works out, I'll make it worth the church's while. Happy to help. Could you go to the Chamber of Commerce? Could you go to the real estate office and find the number one person? Could you go and use a super indirect approach with those people if you wanted? Could you use an indirect approach? Can you help me? Do you think it'll work in this market? Would you look at it for me? Tell me what you think. I'm trying to expand. Or you could use a direct approach. Do you want to get out of here? I can help. Okay? See what I'm saying? You don't have to be limited by your circumstance. Step 4 is if I would you. The most powerful phrase in all of network marketing. If I would you. It's been my secret weapon for about 20 years. If I would you. Secret weapon. It's unbelievable what this does. Here's why it works. It's reciprocal. I'm not offering anything to you unless you're willing to make a commitment to me. I'm just not. If I would you. I don't say, will you? I don't do that. That doesn't feel attractive. It puts you in a place of power and control. You're in control of the situation. You're in control of the process. You have something of value. You're not begging. You're not needy. You're not whining. You're not pleading. You've got something of value. You value you. You have an opportunity, but you also value yourself. If I would you. I have a DVD here that explains everything better than I could. If I gave it to you, would you watch it? I have a CD that explains it better than I can. If I gave it to you, would you listen to it? I have a website link that explains it better than I can explain it. If I gave you that website link, would you review it? I have a magazine that describes our opportunity better than I can describe it. If I gave it to you, would you read it? See what I'm saying? Not saying I'm going to. But if I did, would you take the action? It is the most powerful question in all of MLM. There isn't a situation where it doesn't work. Some of these cool things that you hear, these cool scripts or whatever, they don't really work in real life. This works in real life, in every situation, with every company, with everything that could possibly come up. I've never seen it not work. If I would you. Works virtually every time. So, examples. If I gave you a DVD, would you watch it? If I gave you a CD, would you listen to it? If I gave you a magazine or some other printed material, would you read it? If I gave you a link to a website, would you watch it? If I invited you to a special invitation only webinar, would you attend? If I invited you to a special invitation-only conference call, would you listen in? Invitation-only is important 2 words, by the way. Learn to add that to event-oriented things. If I invited you to a special invitation-only, private conference call, would you listen in? Now it has more value. If I, would you? Now, let me back up. I go, give me your name again. Susan, sorry. If I go to Susan and I say, Susan, listen, I don't have a lot of time. I'm running out the door, but I've always respected the fact that you've got a bright attitude about life. You've got an open mind when it comes to looking at things. You're just kind of a bright human being. You brighten the room. Every time you come into the room, you brighten the room. It makes everybody feel better. I thought you should know that. Listen, I don't know, when recently you told me that you really wanted to do more for your kids than you've been able to do up until that point, but you were limited based upon your job. When you told me that, were you serious? You just kidding around? You're serious? Well, listen, I think I've got a way for you to get it. Yeah, I got some information here. All the information's on this DVD. It's about 15 minutes long. If I gave you this DVD, would you watch it? It'll explain it better than I could. Sure. It's kind of unnatural to say no. How long did that take? 40 seconds? I did all 4 steps. It's nothing. It's natural for her. It's unnatural. Didn't it feel, you felt like maybe you should throw in an objection and it didn't feel right, did it? The objection is just like, no, that doesn't feel right. Because what's there to object to? I didn't say, anything other than I've got a DVD explains it better than I could. If I gave it to you, would you watch it? It seems unreasonable to say no. 95% of the time, they'll say yes. 5% of the time, if they know you really well, they might go, what's going on? 5%. And if they say what's going on, they say, well, what's going on is I've got a DVD that can explain it better than I can. You'll find out in a minute. If you watch it, you'll see. Well, tell me more about it. The DVD can do it better than I can. You know what? We waste both of our time. Plus, I'm not as good at doing it as the DVD can. Okay? So if I give you an audio, would you listen? If I give you a DVD, would you watch? If I give you a link, if I give you a magazine, will you review it? Yes or no? They'll say yes. Okay? So then you go to now. If they say yes, are they going to do it? No. You think you're done. You're not done. If I go to Susan and I say, Susan, if I give this to you, will you watch it? She says yes. She's doing that mostly to make this a comfortable interaction. She's not doing it to say, yes, I'm going to drop everything and immediately go watch it. But she said yes, and it's friendly and it's fun. Okay? What do you think the percentage chance of her watching it without me harassing her for weeks? 10%, 5%? Very low percentage. I'm going to show you how to get to 80%. 80. Okay? This little process, really simple. Every one of you can learn it. It's in your script book. It's also in the actual GoPro book. You can study over time. Step 5 is to get the time commitment. Confirmation number 1. I go to Albert. If I give you this DVD, would you watch it? He said, sure. When do you think you could see it for sure? Tomorrow. I don't ask, can you see it right away? Can you see it today? Can you see it tomorrow? Because now I'm making the appointment. I want him to make the appointment. I'm not putting a commitment on him. I'm asking him to put the commitment on himself. This is downhill gravity, automatic, versus pushing a rock uphill, what most of you have been doing up until this point. When do you think you can listen to it for sure? So let's say I'm doing this with this whole front row. So when do you think you could see the DVD for sure? Next Wednesday. When do you think you could see it for sure? Sunday evening. When do you think you should see it for sure? Monday evening. When do you think you can see it for sure? Monday. When do you think you can see it for sure? Tomorrow morning. Do I care what answer? I don't care. It's their appointment. They're filling their calendar. I'm not. If they say, I can't do it until after Christmas. What day after Christmas? December 28th. No problem. Next, please. Don't suggest the time for them. Ask the question and wait. This makes it real. Now, I asked the first question, if I gave it to you, would you watch it? She goes, yeah. When do you think you could see it for sure? In her mind, she goes, oh. Now she has to go inside her mind and think about when she's going to watch it. She's got to think about her schedule, her kids, her work, her life. Can she find a DVD player? Okay, so Susan, when do you think you could watch it for sure? Tomorrow night. I use for sure. It sounds silly, but it works. When do you think you could see it for sure? Tomorrow night. Fantastic. Now they've said yes twice. Yes, I'll watch it. I'll watch it by tomorrow night. Step 6. Confirmation number 2. Confirm the time commitment. If they say they'll watch the DVD by Tuesday, your response would be, so if I called you on Wednesday, you'll have seen it for sure, right? I'm doing is that it's just confirming what they said. When do you think, if I give this to you, Albert, when do you think you could see it for sure? Tomorrow for sure. So if I call you tomorrow night, will you have seen it for sure by then? All right. So that's my confirmation. So he said yes, he said yes, he said yes. 3 times now. They'll either say yes or they'll adjust. They might say, well, when do you think you could see it? By Wednesday. So if I call you by Thursday, you've seen it for sure. They go, oh, maybe call me Friday. So they'll adjust it a little bit. No problem. So if I call you Friday, you've seen it for sure, right? Now they've confirmed 3 times. You've asked the questions. Their answers made the appointment. They made it. You didn't make it. You want to know how the professionals do this? How you get to 80% on everybody you talk to in a way that does not get rejection? You do not get rejected if you do it professionally. You will never feel rejected if you do it professionally. You rarely feel rejected when you do this professionally. Step 7 is schedule the next exposure. So Albert, if I give you this DVD, when do you think you've seen it for sure?
Tuesday morning for sure.
Tuesday morning. So if I call you, later in the day, Tuesday, you've seen it for sure, right?
Probably, yeah.
Well, you said probably, yeah. What time for sure?
6 o'clock for sure.
6 o'clock for sure. All right. So if I call you after 6 o'clock, you've seen it for sure, right?
Sure.
All right. What's the best number and time for me to call?
Yeah. Okay. Tomorrow on my cell.
On your cell, what time?
6:30.
6:30. Wonderful. Now they've said yes 4 times. They've scheduled the appointment. They're not going to avoid your call. Super simple. Your numbers will go from 5% to 80% with this approach. And when you understand the value of a new line, you'll understand the value of just following this simple process. Now we're going to practice this morning this simple process, 1 through 8. Oh, step 8, I got to tell you. Get off the phone. Shut up. Be done. The appointment's scheduled. Now you just go, whew. Well, let me tell you why I'm so excited about what you're about to see. And it's la, 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 la. And then I go, whoa, 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 whoa. This whole thing should be 3 minutes, maximum. So if I'm talking to Darlene, and let's say Darlene is my sister. Okay, and I'm calling my sister, and I'm going to use a indirect approach. Okay? So I'll give you an example all the way through. Hey, Darlene, I'm glad I caught you. Hope you're doing good. I'm running out the door. Don't have a lot of time. Do you have a minute? Yes, you do? Listen, one of the things I love about you more than anything else is you're my sister. You support me no matter what. And I appreciate that. I just want you to know that that means a lot to me. Now, I've started something new that I'm excited about, but to be honest with you, even brother to sister, I'm a little nervous. It's brand new to me. I don't have all the skills yet. I think I can create a big future, but I need a friendly face to practice on. Can I practice on you? If I made it easy on you, it won't take too long. If I practice with you, would you let me do that? Of course, I love you. Well, listen, all the information about what I'm doing is on this DVD here. It's about 10 minutes long. If I gave you this DVD, would you watch it for me? Absolutely. Fantastic. When do you think you could see it for sure? Tonight. Fantastic. So if I call you tomorrow, you've seen it for sure, right? Huh? For me, definitely. Awesome. So what's the best number and time for me to call? Call your cell what time? About 8:30 in the morning or in the evening? Tonight. You want me to call you tonight? Okay, I'll call you tonight, 8:30. Thank you so much. You are my sister. Mwah. And then I give it. Once I'm done, then I give it. I don't give it and then try and confirm it. I wait to give it until she's made the commitment. Was that natural or unnatural? Was that comfortable with a family member or uncomfortable? Here's what's uncomfortable. You're my family. You should do this. We could all do this together. We'd be the super family. Come on, let's go. Whoa. That feel respectful? Did you feel honored in the process? Did you feel pressured at all? You feel your arm was twisted? We got to a third-party exposure? Made you feel good. When you just learned to practice this a little bit. So that was an indirect approach to a family member. Now I'm going to go to Albert. And Albert, what's your background, Albert?
Originally, truck driver.
Truck driver. Okay, were you dissatisfied with being a truck driver?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I go to Albert, and I know Albert and I are friends. And I know Albert is sick and tired of being a truck driver, and I'm going to use a direct approach because he and I are friends. I've got something that'll help him. I have compassion for him. I want to see him get out of that truck and on with his life. Okay? So I get a hold of Albert and I say, Albert, listen, I'm running out the door. Don't have a lot of time, but I'm glad I caught you. You have a minute? Yeah, he's got a minute. Albert, let me tell you something about you that I really admire. You've got drive. You've got ambition. You might not have the circumstance that you want right now, but you've got something in you that just makes other people feel good. I don't know what it is, but you do. You know what I mean? And I've run into something. And when you told me you wanted to get out of that truck and find something else, but you didn't quite know how to make that happen, without jeopardizing your family, were you serious? You just kidding around? You were real serious. Well, listen, I think I've got a way for you to do it. I've got a CD here. Explains it better than I could. Albert, if I gave you this CD, would you listen to it? You can listen to it in the truck.
Absolutely.
All right. When do you think you can listen to it for sure?
Probably tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. So if I called you the day after tomorrow, you have heard it for sure, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. What's the best time for me to call?
Probably after 6.
After 6? What's the best number? Your cell?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cell phone after 6? Give me a specific time after 6.
6:30 for sure.
6:30 for sure. All right. Can't wait for you to get your feedback on it. I'm excited for your future. I got to go. I'm done. How long did that take? 2 minutes? 2 minutes. How did it feel, Albert?
Good.
Felt good. Could you do that with a product sample with your company? If your company has product samples? If I gave you this product sample, would you try it? If I gave you this link, would you watch it? If I gave you the special invitation-only number for the special conference call, would you attend? See what I'm saying? Simple questions. Professionals ask questions. The questions make the appointment. The appointment makes it easy. Okay? I will tell you this. Did I sound natural doing what I just did? Did it sound comfortable? That's because I've done it a long time. But here's the good news. You could become super comfortable with this in any situation within about 48 hours. Or you can struggle for the next 48 months. It's totally up to you. I'm not kidding. What is the big thing that you have to be if you want to be a professional recruiter? One of the biggest things you have to have is to be prepared. Always be prepared. Now, I asked you not to bring your recruiting materials into this room, but outside of this room and outside of this group, you need to be prepared at all times. You can't do it if you don't have a link, you don't have a DVD, you don't have a CD, you don't have a magazine, you don't have the product sample, you don't have the tool. If you're not prepared, you got to say, yeah, well, give me your information, I'll get back to you. Now you've lost momentum versus being able to schedule that follow-up, and make it happen. Okay? So is this 1 hour valuable for you? Yeah? Here's why I want this book to be a staple. My wish is for every single network marketing distributor to study it, because what we just went through is from page 37 to page 40 or 64. 37 to 64 is everything we just did, including all the scripts, the reasoning behind it, everything else. If you have every distributor in your organization read that and then you practice with them for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they practice with their spouse, they practice with their kids, now they can walk out and go, I got this. I got this. I'm not worried anymore. Yeah. Huh? You could, practice to yourself in the mirror if you need to, if you don't have somebody to practice with. Whatever it takes. But I'm just saying, we just practiced, if you added it all up, all of the practice we just did was 20 minutes. All of it. When you did the first one, how many people feel 100% different from the first one to the fourth one? How many people? That's 20 minutes. The doctor here went for 10 years. 20 minutes. What if you rehearsed every possible scenario for 20 hours? You could get close to world class in not very long. This isn't a skill that is outside of your ability to go get. You can be done with it. Put it behind you once and for all and have it be second nature. When it becomes second nature, you become powerful. When it just becomes automatic, you see somebody who's sharp and you automatically go, okay, listen, I don't have time to talk about it right now. That becomes second nature. Compliment becomes second nature. You're going to do this for the rest of your life? I mean, is this the end, or you got something else you want to do? You got bigger dreams? Oh, really? Well, listen, it might be for you, it might not. And, I don't know if you're serious or not, but I've got a DVD that might be able to get you out of here and do something that will be maybe pay you more what you're worth. If I gave it to you, would you watch it? I mean, you're just ready. You're just there. You're just on it. You don't have to say, okay, now I'm going to go into recruiting mindset. You could just relax. And it's not being a predator. It's out rescuing people. If you do it right, you're going to spread, like Bill Austin said, this kindness virus with everybody you talk to, and nobody will ever feel prospected. They'll all just feel good. Okay? All right. Let's keep moving. Got a lot of stuff to cover. I'm excited for you. I really am. Let's go back to this, please. So when you get off the phone, don't talk yourself out of your appointment. When you're done with the interaction, remember you're in a hurry. Say something like, great, got to go. Talk to you then. Hang up. Stop the conversation. Walk away. Be done. It makes it interesting. You're this whirling dervish who came and whoosh, you're gone. And now you've implanted curiosity in the prospect. Some of you, even in these examples, couldn't stop talking. You got to just be done. You'll find that your results are magnified. These little things, all of this, each step sounds intimidating, but it's not intimidating, is it?